Welcome to the Boxing Bookie. We are back. Not the best day. We got we picked both winners right. We got the money line part right, but we definitely missed. I took both the over on both fights. I really thought I was going to get it in the Moran fight, but Moran picked it up, and Ramiro did not really had nothing for him. Ramiro, I can't say that name. Ramiro Duno really had nothing for him. I didn't think he'd have much, but I thought he'd be more durable. I thought he would last longer. We didn't get it today. We did not get that today. And then in the main event, I am losing my Plania got nailed with a body shot, and that's all she wrote. That's all. That was a weird ending, though. They called it low, but then what they changed their mind because you're supposed to get if you're hit with a low blow and they rolled it low, even though it wasn't low. You're supposed to get 5 minutes to recover, right? Like, I'm not making that up. If you get hit with a low blow, you're supposed to get 5 minutes of recovery. Well, he didn't get 5 minutes of recovery. He got, a minute and a half. So did he just change his mind and say, "Nah, forget it. It's not a low blow. It's a legal shot," which would have been the right call, but you can't. I don't. Can you just do that? Can you just change your mind? Say, "Nah, I called it low," but balls to that. It's a clean punch, which it was. I mean, so like at the end of the day, they got it correct. They got the call right, but it was just a weird way to end the fight. And then, for the gamblers, how is that going to go? But it's ruled a knockout, correct? They ruled it a knockout. And that's the official verdict. It was just a weird ending to that fight. It's really, really strange ending. I told you guys I was really confident Moran would win. I was really, really confident Angelo would win. Angelo is a former world champion. He's levels ahead, and we saw that. And I should have taken Leo on the under. Should take Leo by knockout. I was thinking about it. I really wanted to go in, but I was like, this guy doesn't get any knockouts. He really doesn't get any knockouts. Like, Plania's not a terrible fighter. He's beaten Josh Greer. He's been in tough. Until you can prove to me that you can knock these guys out, I'm going to take you on points. And, well, I was wrong on that one. That one didn't pay off. But let me know when you guys pop in. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts. Let me know when you're here. Let me know where y'all are from. We'll get started in just a minute as everyone pops in, everyone rolls in. And let me know what you guys think of these cards, of these PROBOX cards. I like them a lot. 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from Friday, actually, doing it on Friday because of Valentine's Day is on that Wednesday. They're doing it on Friday. My boy, Ramon Cardenas, San Antonio, Texas, my fellow Texan, good friend of mine, good friend of the program, will be in action. So make sure to check out PROBOX 2 Fridays, 2 weeks from this Friday, February 16th. My boy, Ramon Cardenas, will be back in action. He got an epic knockout in San Antonio on, I think it was the final Showbox ever. There may have been one out there, I'm not sure, but it was in September. And they cut Showbox off shortly after that. You took Angelo money line. I thought he would get the decision, but the PROBOX small ring forces engagement. So I took the money line and said, yeah, no, absolutely. Like, you're taking him on the money line, Glenn, that's not a bad bet, right? Like, he's going to win. He was going to win. He's clearly a better fighter than my brain doesn't work at all anymore. He's clearly a better fighter than Mike Plania, right? Angelo is a world-class guy. Like, he's going to get back in the world title picture. Does he ever get one? Who knows? 122 could be a tricky division. But, like, if you took Angelo on the money line, Glenn, you made money, right? Like, you didn't lose. You made money. So that's kudos to you. That's a good bet. Any bet where you make money is a good bet. That's house money. That's good. I mean, look, do you want to get the stoppage, take the prop, get the KO, take the under, get that? Yeah, we all want that. But, like, look, you made money. You made money. Did you go heavy on it, or did you just, like, I said to go 1.5 on it. I knew Leo was going to. Leo is not losing to Mike Plania. It was the only question was decision or stoppage. When someone's that outclassed, I mean, Leo's a really good fighter. I don't think he's feather-fisted, right? And I said that in my video. I said I don't think he's feather fisted, but he just doesn't get any knockouts. So how can I pick him to knock people out when he's not getting knocked? You know, I think he can punch a little bit. You know, I'm not saying I think he's a devastating knockout artist like Tank Davis. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's got a little bit of pop. He can hit a little bit. He's definitely got some pop. I wanted to also share some news to you while everyone rolls in. I've got a good source. I'm not going to name him right now until it's official because he told me not to name him. That Boots Enos, and this is from Boots Enos' side, that Boots Enos and Mario Barrios is basically a done deal. Barrios is just waiting on Devin Haney to see if that offer is real. But Barrios versus Devin Haney, Barrios versus Boots looks like it's real. That looks like it's really real. The only question is, does Barrios jump in and get the Haney fight, right? Because that's going to be in Saudi Arabia. If he gets, they're going to give him millions and millions and 10, 20 million, what have you. If he doesn't get that, instead, he's going to get Boots Enos. So kudos to him. That's a good fight. You know, everyone's going to take Boots, and I don't blame him. No, Glenn, I'm very serious. That is, from what I'm told, from Boots' side, that it's a done deal. The only question is Mario might get the Haney fight in Saudi Arabia, which would be for, you know, a ridiculous sum of money. So Barrios has to wait on that. And it's a winnable fight. The Haney, I think, is a winnable fight. Obviously, Boots is a much more difficult fight. I'll say that. Mario's my boy. He's the homeboy. I've known the guy for years, since he's fighting at 126 and 122 at Cowboys in San Antonio. I've known Barrios for years. I'm not gonna throw any shade on his name. I'm just saying Boots would be a much more difficult fight than Haney. Well, I definitely didn't see the Angelo Leo one-punch body shot KO. That was out of nowhere. Yeah, but like it is. But when someone outclasses their opponent that much, when someone, you know, like Leo and Plania are not on the same level, not even close, you can't be shocked. Right? I didn't see it coming either. Like obviously, I picked to go the distance, but you can't be shocked. And on second thought, I should have looked at the difference in talent and been like, nah, this is he's stopping him. Yeah, man, I put 9,500 on Ben KO. I'm getting oh yeah. I put my whole life savings on Boots. Hey, don't do that. What if he gets disqualified? What if Boots gets disqualified? What if he hits him low a bunch of times? Right? I'm just saying, don't put your whole life savings on Boots. I'd make a good bet. I wouldn't put everything on it. Things happen. Yeah, I put 9,500 on Ben KO. I'm getting a nice lobster dinner. Hey, and don't forget to join my Patreon. Yo, that's a big payday for you. When that hits, Patreon, just $5 a month, you get a ton of perks. You get a free T-shirt. You get a bunch of excellent perks. So make sure to join my Patreon after you cash in on it. Not before, but after you cash in on that bet. Make sure to join my Patreon. Lionel Watson missed the plus 260 under for the main event. Yeah, man, I was just talking about that. I should have took the under. I should have on the main event. I should have just picked Leo by stoppage. You know, that played pretty well too. I was just looking at it and I was like, Leo doesn't really. I can see him stopping, but he just doesn't get the knockouts. And until he starts getting knockouts, I can't pick him to get the knockout. Then I like Leo. I think Leo can be a world champion again. I'm not discrediting Leo. I'm just saying he hasn't gotten the knockout. So I'm looking at this. And I'm like, you know, do you hedge it? Do you take Leo by stoppage and take the over? I didn't want to do all that, so I just said, you know what? I'm gonna roll in. If Leo gets a stoppage, it'll be late. I did not see that. I did not see the quick knockout coming. Plania is a game guy. These Filipinos are tough as hell. I just didn't see that. Plania tried to get up, man. He really did. And it's hysterical because they called it low, and Homeboy's holding his rib like he's, you know, in the worst pain ever. It's like, how is it low if dude is holding his rib? Your rib is fair game. So I thought that was hysterical. They must have paid Peter Dobson fellow a lot of money to step in the Vegas ring and get viciously knocked out. Seriously, he must know he's being brought in to make Ben look like Thanos. Yeah, I watched. Did you guys watch Dobson? I mean, I'm not trying to throw any shade on him. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He's not at this level, bro. And it's the wrong guy, right? Like, you're putting him in with a killer. Like, You're not putting him in with a guy who's going to play with them, and you're not putting him in with Chris Algieri. You're putting him in with, like, Conor Benn almost killed Chris Algieri. Like, this is a bad look, man. I got someone asked me today, under 6. I can't see it going under 6, right? So he had a prop where he could bet 1 through 6 knockout. I'd probably take that. I can't see this guy Dobson lasting. Dobson's going to get murdered in there, right? Like, go watch his tape. He's not an athlete. He's not a super athlete. He's not a mover. Like, he's fundamentally okay. Like, he knows how to fight. It's like, bro, it's like knowing how to fight and fighting Conor Benn is, yo, I know Conor Benn's been inactive. He had the steroid. Conor Benn might murder this man. And, like, it's not, and I get they want to make Conor Benn look spectacular, and they're going to do that. But this is a bad look. I saw Jamel Herring fight a guy named Nicholas Molina from Boston. I think he's from Boston. And, like, Molina had built up an undefeated record, similar to Dobson, not fighting anybody, but he looked okay, and he was getting these wins. And then they put him with Herring in New York City at this private event. It was on the Zone, but there was like $25,000 tables. It was a charity event that Lou DiBella was putting on. And Jamel Herring, who's not a puncher, destroyed him, knocked him down twice in the first round and ended it. And that's Jamel Herring, a non-puncher. Now, you put in a killer in the ring, like Conor Benn, with someone who should not be there, an undefeated prospect, not really setting the world on fire, no real discernible skills. You put him in there, yo, this guy's going to get murdered, man. I'm just hoping it gets over quickly, because if he's real durable, he might take a serious beating. It's like, it's better just to get it over quickly. Chris Algieri is good outboxes, moves around 6. Yeah, Algieri was good, and he only survived 4 rounds. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when they were having that discussion, before Verge got sick and everything, Verge boots. I'm like, Conor Benn. I'm not saying Conor Benn can beat those guys. Conor Benn needs to be in that discussion. Conor Benn is him. Conor Benn is like that, right? Like, if you think both those guys beat Conor Benn, fine. Like, that's fine. I think Boots beats him. But, like, he's in the conversation. Like, it was a three-headed monster at 147. Then Verge got sick, and Conor Benn got the steroid thing and such. But Conor Benn is him, bro. Unless it's rigged. Oh, that's always a possibility too. And you have to account for that too. Like, this is boxing. You have to account that it could be rigged. Could be a murder. We could see. I don't even want to joke about it, because that's how much of a mismatch I see this. Like, I really see it like that kind of goal. There's a couple kind of Peter Dobson fights. They call him Pistol Pete. He fought in Florida, I think. You can find them. They're streamed on YouTube. This guy is not it, man. Like, I don't know why they would do this to him. I understand why he take the fight. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. The dude's 33 years old, but it's like, he's not going to get another chance. This is his chance. So I understand why he'd take it, but damn, is he gonna? They don't pay you enough for this, man. Like, I don't know what they're paying you. I know it's not enough. We know how terrible Dobson's boxing is, and he's definitely a club level fighter. But what do we know about his chin? It could be better than Vargas or Van Heerden's chin or Orozco's. It could be, and that's not a good thing, right? Like, and that's why I'm saying, just take Ben by stoppage. Just take him by stoppage. I don't know when it's going to happen, but he's obviously going to stop him, right? Like, it's not going to go 10 rounds. It's not going to go the distance. He's going to stop him. I don't know when. Like, what if this guy is super durable? That's not good for him, because he's not really going to be competitive in the fight, right? It's not like he's competitive and getting nailed. He's just going to get nailed. He's just going to be a sitting duck who takes a ton of shots, right? Like, he's got absolutely nothing for Conor Benn, and Conor Benn's got defensive flaws, right? Like, Conor Benn is not a perfect defensive fighter. You can hit Conor Benn, but this Dobson guy's just not at that level, not even close. That's what we got this week. Glendale says, I'm going to make a bold claim and say he gets him out within. It's possible. Like, I'm not ruling anything out. Could Conor Benn get him out in the first minute of the fight? He could. Like, it's going to happen quick. So it's like, I'm going to use a baseball analogy. It's like, if you're sitting on a changeup and the first pitch of the game, he throws you a changeup and you load up on it and crank it to home run, right? Like, he's going to be sitting on an opening. If he gets it right away, this could be over quick. Now, we're going to learn about Peter Dobson, where he hasn't fought anyone remotely, right? Like, forget at Conor Benn's level. He hasn't fought anybody at any level. Like, he hasn't fought anyone decent. And like now they're throwing him in with the great white shark. It's like this is a bad look, man. Like he hasn't. It's not like he's been blowing these guys out. And he's it's like okay, he's been in there. He's been out pointing guys. He's been winning fights on his jab. He doesn't really move. And these are sparring partners. It's like, yo, this is. When they announced the fight, I didn't know who Peter Dobson was. I thought he was going to be a British guy. I looked him up. He's from New York. I'm like, okay, let me see this guy. Like, I don't know him. That's interesting. There's a reason why you don't know him. I was listening to Paul George's podcast, and he said as his rookie year, he was kept getting wide open threes, and he kept missing them. And Danny Granger, the last one, and the miss, at crunch time, it was a big miss. Just like shook his head at Paul George, and Paul George was like, "What? You want me to take these? They're wide open." Right? And Danny Granger goes, "Bro, there's a reason why you're wide open." Right? Like, there's a reason why you've never heard of Peter Dobson. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason you don't know Peter Dobson. Like, a very, very good reason. It's because he's not any good. And I'm not trying to disrespect the guy, but there's levels to this. And you've jumped 3 levels to fight a killer, and it's just a bad look. Yeah, man, get your Chinese food. Take care, brother. I will be back Saturday after Conor Ben Destruction. I'll go live again. I'll probably do another video in the interim. But this is probably going to be fairly short. We didn't have a great day today. We hit both guys on the money line, but missed on the under. So we lost a little bit today. But we'll get it all back. Not everyone has a perfect week. We got a couple fights that I feel good about. I'll probably do one more video this week and have 3 fights in for tomorrow. 3 fights in for this card. And then we got next Friday, we got a Teofimo Lopez. Remember, that's a Thursday, isn't it? It's a Thursday card. Yeah. So remember that. And then we got a bunch of good stuff coming up. Guys, join my Patreon. You'll get the lock of the week. Neither one of these fights were the lock of the week. Thank God I would have missed my lock of the week. But you get the lock of the week. You get a free t-shirt. You can request a video and I'll handicap it for you. I'll break it down for you. I'll give you a scouting report on a fighter. Whatever you guys need. There's a ton of perks. It's just $5 a month. So join my Patreon, especially after you cash in on what Conor Ben does this Saturday. We're probably going to wrap this up, keep this short unless there's any questions, anything you guys want to talk about. I told you the news that I got about Barrios and Boots. That's what I got. That's from a really reliable source. It's just waiting on Barrios finding out if he gets offered the Haney fight, which he would obviously take. It would be for an insane amount of money over there in Saudi Arabia. If that's not it, then Boots Enos Barrios is what we got. And the first fight, Antonio Moran is a guy I like, and I'm just interested to see where Antonio Moran goes from here, right? Like, where does Moran go from here? Like, what does he got left? We know that when he gets to the highest level, he falls short because he's not that fast. He just doesn't have a ton of natural gifts. He's just a good craftsman in there. So he gets to a certain level, but that's ultimately it. So where does Moran go from here? He's at 135. 135 is the wrong division. How would he do with Kambosos? Like, I think Kambosos is grotesquely overrated. I think potentially he could win that fight, but like, what else is there for him realistically that he could win at 35? Right? Because we know if he gets to a world title fight, obviously he's going to lose. Clearly he's going to lose. But is there anything for him, for Moran, at 135 that he could win? Any name of note you think Antonio Moran could beat at 135? I like him. Like, he's a good craftsman. Like, he's a good fighter. He's just at the highest level. He's going to just fall short. He fought Jermaine Ortiz and lost a competitive decision. And I don't care what they told you on Showbox. He clearly lost that fight. Like, they were trying to say he won that fight. He maybe won 2 rounds in that fight. He clearly lost that fight. But you look at the names: 135, Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Haney's gone. Teofimo Lopez. Oh, they have him at super lightweight. That's the wrong division. He's a lightweight. I don't know why they put him at 140. BoxRec puts him at 140. No, he's 135. Javante, Shakur, Lomachenko, Zepeda, Frank Martin, Isaac Cruz, Jermaine Ortiz, Kambosos, Edwin Del Santos, Maxi Hughes. Could he beat Maxi Hughes? There's a name. Keyshawn Davis, Oscar Duarte. I mean, you're getting pretty far down on the names. 135 is a really, really good division. And I like to see what they do with them next. My guess is he gets a Williams and fights and gets destroyed again. But that's my guess, right? Like, I feel like Moran is the guy that Golden Boy would like to use. Like, I don't know why, but I think he's a guy they would like to use. And he's going to get a decent fight off of this. Like I said, he fought Jermaine Ortiz fairly competitively. He won this fight against a real opponent, although I knew Ramiro Dano would not offer much resistance. But he's a name. People know him. And then in the main event, Angelo Leo. What is Angelo Leo? What does Leo get next? Leo's a world-class fighter. I think it's good for Angelo Leo that he gets. It was good for PROBOX that they get a name like Angelo Leo. Angelo Leo should be fighting on bigger stages. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna put him in next. Is he featherweight? Is he 122? Could he fight a Brandon Figueroa? He would get destroyed in a fight like that. Lee Wood would be interesting. There are names like that. Robeisy Ramirez. Robeisy Ramirez is conqueror, but that's on the top rank side. Rafael Espinosa. I get, there's names there at 126. I'd like to see Angelo Leo fight. He has the PBC connection. I'd like to see him. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Louis Neary. Can he do that? Is that a fight anyone cares about? But Leo's a good fighter. I want to see him get back at the highest stage. I want to see him at the world level. And one more win. I think we should put him in a title fight. I think Leo is a legitimate fighter. Oh, I didn't even see that, Glenn. The first round knockout pays plus 1,500. That's worth. It's a possibility. I'd put a little something on that and a little something on the second. It's a possibility. I wouldn't make a big bet on it. I would throw something on it. It's certainly possible. That's how outmatched he is. All right, guys. All right, y'all. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm about to wrap this up. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. Let me know. If not, I'm going to wrap it up. Good day. Good day of boxing. A good PROBOX card. Oh, even though both fights ended rather quickly, but it was a good night of boxing. Follow me all forms of social media, 3D Boxing, 3D Boxing blog. Follow my Twitter. I'm going to start using Twitter more. We're going to do that. And then also subscribe to my Patreon. That's at 3D Boxing, the boxing bookie. The link is in the description, I think. If not, it's I'll put it there. And also Texas Boxing Scene. That's a channel completely dedicated to Texas boxing. All right, guys. That's it for me. It's January 31st, 2024 from Texas to the world. Thank you, and God bless.